He is a holy man. Dear Diary, I thought that I should tell you the story about how Johnny Depp became my newest disciple. It was a cold winter night in Uganda. Well, it was cold for me because I'm God and I have air conditioning. It was burning hot for everyone else. I was busy drinking hot chocolate and getting a pedicure by my slaves Dr. Phil and Queen Elizabeth when I heard a loud pop from outside my nice modern building that protects me from malaria. I excused my slaves and stood to my feet and walked over to one of my luxurious first-class windows and peered outside with my godly eyes. Pop! I heard it again. I called my mother Oprah over, and she looked worried. I trust your judgment, Brad, but maybe we should have stayed up in the clouds rather than came down to Earth for a vacation. Never fear, Oprah Pitt. Nobody would dare harm us. I'm sure it's simply the sound of thousands of people crying to be let into my private building. If only, if only. I shook my head and began to walk back to my chair when I heard a knock on my door made by child labor in China. I'll answer that, Queen Elizabeth said as she shuffled over to peer through the peephole in the door. Brad! She exclaimed. Yes? It's Johnny Depp and he looks terrified. Her eyes widened. Let him in, wench. Queen Elizabeth dropped dead all of a sudden, and I rolled my eyes and stepped over her in order to let Mr. Depp inside. Johnny was in such a hurry to get inside that he nearly tripped over Queen Elizabeth on his way over to me. Brad, he exclaimed. What's going on? I asked, slightly angered that my vacation wasn't going perfectly. Rush Limbaugh is outside. He's preaching bullshit over the loudspeaker and it's driving the citizens insane. Gunshots are going off non-stop. He's supposed to be on the set of Jerry Springer right now, announcing his plans to elect the guests as new Congress, I gasped, cursing myself for trusting him for even a second. Then it was as if time slowed down. The crash, the silver twisting through the air, the pop, the blur of Johnny Depp blocking my view, and then that very blur falling down to my feet. Blood everywhere. I looked up to see a hole through my luxurious window, and Rush's hand poking through it. I lunged forward and gripped his hand, and with one forceful pull, his whole body crashed through the window. Rush still had a gun in his hand, and I grabbed it, bending it in half. What's your reasoning for this, Rush? What's your excuse? I'm a Republican, he spoke. Fair enough, I said, trying to decide what to do next. Brad, I heard a familiar voice whisper from the floor. I looked down to see Johnny, and I placed a hand on his shoulder. Rush quietly squeezed back through the hole in the window and ran back into the darkness. But I didn't care. I was focused on reviving my friend. You saved me from what you thought would kill me. You risked your life for me. For that, you will now be revived. You will now become an immortal disciple of mine. Oh, holy Brad, say it, I said. Confess your belief in I, Brad. Johnny managed to cough out the words, Holy Brad, and he rose to life. The moral of this story is that I am Brad, and I enjoy using all of Uganda's power in order to run my personal air conditioning. Brad.